caused the great flood, the deluge of the time of Noah? Why the flood happened? Well, we know that foreign scientists read what happened in the Old Testament and ancient texts, even ancient Greek texts, whereas the locals don't read their ancestors, but copies of works from foreigners. Now, Russian scientists read that the Arcadians were proselenes, that is, before the moon was a natural satellite of Earth. That is, it was before the moon appeared. So say the Russians. In the 5th century BC, the astronomer, mathematician, and philosopher, ancient Greek Anaxagoras, claimed that before the flood, the moon was not in our sky. In other words, the moon, which the Greeks call Selene, was not a natural satellite of Earth. And he wrote the same as early as the 3rd century BC. Apollonius the Rhodian wrote the same thing. Now, the astronomer Anaxagoras wrote that in the 5th century BC. Doesn't mean that this happened in the 5th century BC. In the ancient Mayan chronicles, it is described many times that the sky, instead of having the moon, had Venus in the vicinity. That is, the brightest star was Venus. Since the moon was not there, it was missing. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. This reminds us of what Immanuel Velikovsky was writing about concerning Venus being closer to Earth, and something happened that changed the orbits of the planets of our solar system. Now, the ancient Mayan chronicles describe many times that the sky, instead of having the moon, had Venus, and that is, the brightest star was Venus since the moon was missing. And regarding Venus in the relation to the flood of the earth, Virgil reports, and he writes that according to ancient sources, the flood occurred in the days when the color and the size of Venus changed. Hence the moon came and they passed it to Venus, but it became larger. Some myths say that during the flood there were 2 moons in the sky. That is, Venus and our new moon, the natural satellite that we have today as being Earth's moon. Now, geologists say that lunar tides existed millions of years ago. The moon does not make them. Another source makes them, but now a source makes them, but how a source makes them, they still do not know. The composition of the moon is not the same as the composition of the Earth, so the moon came from another place. But in order to break the rotation around the Earth and not to fall onto the Earth and impact the Earth, some intelligent beings did it. They said, this is where the ancient aliens come in, but stopping the moon due to gravity, huge tidal waves, and massive volcanic eruptions did occur on Earth at the time of the deluge and the great flood. This is how Russians justify that the deluge and the flood of Noah took place. Something happened that changed the atmosphere of our Earth. Remember that we never ever had rainbows before the great flood. Noah first saw a rainbow, and God told him that that would be a sign that the Earth would not ever be wiped out by flood again. So, they never had rainbows before that. That means that the atmosphere of the Earth drastically changed, and the sun's rays were totally different. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. I translated this for you from a Greek article. Thank you.